My family and I have been blessed beyond measure with opportunities to serve this nation, and it'd be easy to stay on the sidelines. But that's not how I was raised. That's why today, before God and my family, I'm announcing I'm running for president.
Former Vice President Mike Pence announcing he is running for president in his first 2024 campaign video. He'll be speaking in Iowa later today. Recent Fox News polls has Pence in third place with 5%, trailing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis by 15 points and President Trump by more than 45 points. Joining me right now is Indiana Congressman and member of the House Energy, Commerce, and Republican Study Committees, Greg Pence. But his most important title, perhaps right now, is the older brother of former VP Mike Pence. Congressman, it's good to see you. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Maria. And you know, today he's catching up with me. Today is his 64th birthday, but I'm still older.
Ah, happy birthday to VP Mike Pence. Congressman, tell me about the family time and what this has meant for the family. He talked about how grateful he is, he and his family, for being able to serve this country. And you're his older brother. Tell us about the impact on the family of his public life.
Well, we're all excited. We've been encouraging him since last fall to get in. My mother's watching, my wife, my children are all watching, all my nieces and nephews and siblings are all watching today. I think they're even watching this show, Maria. Everybody's excited for him to get in. You know, to know my brother all my life like I have, I really think he's the right man at the right time today. And so we're excited that he'll put himself out there. He'll talk about the issues he's always talked about. His genuineness, his honesty, his integrity will show and shine through. And I think it's what the country needs right now.
Congressman, former President Trump endorsed you for Congress this past election. What's your relationship with the former president? And you know, would you support him if he ends up being the GOP nominee at the end of all of this?
Well, Maria, I'll support the Republican candidate that wins in the primary for sure. But, you know, this isn't you won't find a family that did more to get President Trump elected than the Pence family. My brother, his family, my wife, my children, me. But I think it's time for a different direction. I think it's time for my brother today.
So tell me about that. What do you want to see your brother do in terms of his priorities? I know that we've watched Vice President Pence be a great partner to President Trump during Trump's term. What do you want to see from Vice President Mike Pence should he get the nomination?
I want to see Mike Pence be Mike Pence. What you'll hear today, which I'm not going to spoil his thunder or take away his thunder, I think you're going to hear what his vision going forward is. In the good book, Jesus says, if they're not against us, they're for us. Michael is for the future. And I think that's what you're going to hear today.
Let me get your take on what's going on right now in terms of policy. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken in Saudi Arabia today. It's unclear if he'll be speaking to the Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, about oil, about these new expectations that the Saudis are going to cut back. There's a new column in The Hill warning that the Saudi oil cut could lead to a long-term hike in gas demand. Demand is climbing, and we could see prices go higher. A New York Post opinion piece is also saying that Biden let Saudi Arabia become the world's king again in oil. We are all the worse for it, Congressman. Your thoughts on the relationship between the Saudis and the U.S. And now, of course, you've got this new golf partnership, which the White House doesn't want to touch.
Well, I'll stay away from the PGA and live for the moment. But, Maria, I spent my entire life in the petroleum distribution business, buying, selling, and pricing product. And I would tell you, this is nothing new that the Saudis and OPEC, and now OPEC Plus, like to fix price. It is a cartel. This happens all the time. This could be a demand issue. and they're trying to simply raise prices to put more money in their coffers. This is something I'm glad to see the administration is being proactive in going over there and talking to them about it right now. But, you know, we don't have any petroleum reserves, so we're more at risk than we have been in the past.
Well, we are down to the lowest level since the 1980s in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, Congressman. And now Kamala Harris says that the U.S. is going to start buying oil to refill the reserve because they sold it at obviously cheap levels because they wanted to move prices ahead of an election. But now they've got to buy it in the 70s. I mean, prices are back up again.
Well, that's right, Maria. They wanted to sell it when it was pushing prices down, which, of course, that did not work. And now they want to buy it when it's really high. And you have to ask, where are they going to buy it from? Venezuela? Saudi Arabia? How about focusing on our domestic energy infrastructure and fix that here?
Well, that's the thing. They've got a climate change agenda, and it's a whole-of-government approach, Congressman. I know you and Ohio Congressman Bob Latta sent a letter to Ford, Volkswagen, Tesla, and other major auto manufacturers asking them to maintain AM radio receivers in new vehicles. The Energy Committee holding a hearing on the importance of AM radios in new cars yesterday. Tell us about that effort.
Well, AM radio, we have national emergency communications through AM radio. Actually, in my district and districts all across the country, we have hardened sites in case of a natural disaster or even worse, a military disaster. In my area, it's if tornadoes come, you tune into the AM radio. EV manufacturers, or specifically EVs, for some of the manufacturers will not have AM radio, and we wrote a letter to all of them asking them to reconsider and to put it in, and we got some positive response and some positive movement. We'll see where that goes. I know Bob, Representative Latta, is holding a hearing this week on it. I am not in that subcommittee. I'm here in obviously helping my brother, but we're going to keep pushing on bringing that focus on keeping AM radio in cars and keeping also local radio, local television viable. That's kind of a writ large issue that big tech, apps, they're getting pushed out, and I think we have to protect local media.
Congressman, real quick, it's going to be a very exciting couple of days for you and certainly for your brother. You're there in Iowa. What would be success for you at the end of this week as the former vice president makes this announcement?
Just being with my brother. I'll let him measure success. He asked me to come and spend time with him here on his birthday. I guess it's his version of a party. So I said, okay, I love to spend his money anytime I can.
All right, Congressman, good to see you. We'll be watching all of that. Happy birthday, Mike Pence. Greg Pence, good to see you this morning, sir. Thank you.